So what's this I hear? You got old man Bacala making a comeback?
He didn't hear it from me, Tom.
Junior reached out, asked me to talk to you. Old man worked for him for a lot of years, just looking out for him.
It does seem a little extreme. But hey, my man Jagoots, he knows what he's doing, huh?
Glad I have your fucking approval.
Whatever you say, Cappy.
Gigi's captain of that crew. He gave the order. I okayed it. End of fucking story.
Tony, please, no offense. Obviously, it's your call.
Yeah, obviously.
What? Nothing. You know, me send in an old man. What's he gonna do? Gum the guy to death? You should let me do it. I'll take this guy apart at the joints. With him conscious.
Wait a minute, what? This is part-time?
May I help you with something?
Yeah, I need a piece of this about this long. Unless you want to come over to my house, check out my bird band. Make sure it's up to code first. Hey, get your ticket book. Doesn't that constitute indecent exposure?
Actually, I no longer need my ticket book. Your friend, the assemblyman, saw to it I was transferred to the property room.
That's why
So you're
he's
no
there.
longer the scourge of Cedar Grove.
Nor am I eligible for overtime.
Leon, take your break at 2.
Well, not that it matters. Just so you know, I didn't tell him to do any of that shit.
That's very kind of you. We're out of stock.
Tony, I spoke to his unit commander. Nobody likes the guy. He's a goddamn rabble-rouser.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Believe me, it goes beyond you. The guy's depressed or something. He's all wound up. They think he might have some serious mental problems.
Oh, that made it even...
I know I was wrong. I'm sorry.
He wasn't some citizen. Kid has friends.
I'm sorry, Uncle Bobby. Anything, whatever Tony Soprano wants me to do.
I got your pass.
Thank you so fucking much. Tell Tony it will never happen again, I swear. Or if it does, I'll at least yell 4 next time, huh?
Really? Now you making jokes?
Give me a glass of water.
Yeah.
He gonna have to pop both of them, by the way.
So this guy's still in a coma? What do you think? Should I visit him, or is that too fucked up?
Yeah. I think you should go see him.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, damn it! Fuck! Fuck! Oh, damn it. There we go. There we go.
No, Mr. Bacala, please, no more!
Did you see how he got like some rejuvenation? He even smoked a cigarette. He's like, yes.
All the fucking luck. He's a cold-hearted prick, that nephew of mine. Cocksuckers didn't even clean him up. The cause of death, was it the cancer or the accident? How advanced was the metastasis anyway?
All due respect, Junior. What do you care about the details? All this technical shit.
It's on his mind all the time.
He was a good man, your father. A good friend. Motherfucker! God damn it! Dirty
Damn.
bastard! Son of a... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah. Everybody around him dropping like flies. Now, what I was going to say is it's different. When he's working, let's say he's the head of the organization, he has no time to think on that. He's just pondering on that shit nonstop. Did you see how it was? He was like an expert on oncology when he was talking to old dude. Like,
what, are you so pissed because I told you couldn't go into business with Tony?
You don't tell me fucking anything, Charmaine. For your information, I'm going into business with Tony.
If you choose Tony over me?
What? What are you gonna do, divorce me?
Is that what you want, Artie?
What? Well, what'd I say?
This marriage is over, Arthur.
I'm telling you right now, this is about old man Bacala. I want to fucking hear it.
I have cancer.
You have what?
really
Cancer.
an expert.
The big casino. Had my first test the day before your mother's funeral.
That's why you been acting so fucking weird? They say how bad?
They won't know until they open me up. This has to stay between us, Anthony.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
First Jackie with cancer, then Febby. Old man Bacala had it, but now you'll get me help. These things come in threes.
Is that why you didn't want the old man to make the hit? What'd you think? If he died of cancer, he was going to take your place?
That's why he
I
was
asked you not to mention
asking what was the reason, the
Jesus
cause of death.
Christ.
You're sick. People look at you different. They treat you like a fucking non-entity. I'm not kidding. You can't talk about this with anybody.
My man needed Bacala to die of cancer, so he didn't. That's I respect it in a way.
Hello?
Uncle June's got cancer.
Tony. Okay, so while I'm watching that, I'm thinking of the code, but I forgot how this show works. This show works. These are normal people. This is what you would do. You'd immediately call your sister, right? The one that you talk to, even though you hate her, and you tell her.
These old timers. I guess the more hard-ass their attitude, the more they could suppress their feelings.
I think it's the illusion of control.
Control?
You say, like, the most horrible shit you can think of in the face of tragedy. It's like you're saying to God, see? You don't fool me, asshole. I know what you're planning.
Yeah, like they're trying to ward off some evil.
I've really been coming to know Christ. Ma, Febby, Uncle June, always comes in threes, huh? And then there's the Holy Trinity. You think that's a coincidence?
What? I gotta go. This little talk was okay. I gotta go.
What happened to Sal Bombenciero, Tom?
With his protection.
Her bike was stolen from outside the library 2 weeks ago.
The 10-speed? Did you lock it up?
They used bolt cutters. Some black guy from the neighborhood. One of the other kids saw him.
Oh, look at the look on her face. Look at the.
Did I say anything?
Tony.
It's just.
Oh, she's about to take it.
What is it, my fault? You're twice as likely to be robbed by a black?
That is so fucking racist.
Happens to be a fact.
From who, David Duke?
Why are they talking about this in the basement?
Oh, try the FBI.
I don't think they're in the basement.
But the lamp.
That's right. It's on battery backup.
For your information, crime is an economic issue, not a racial one. White or African American, you're more likely to steal if you're in a lower income bracket.
Exactly. Mood, Ohio. You gonna see some white folks stealing. They be finked out and everything.
But wait a second, where are you going with that lamp?
I'm taking
Lamp.
it. Halogen Nana gave me gives me a headache.
Hey, don't change the goddamn subject, both of you. Oh, now you got something you can wrap me out
That
about.
look is hilarious. Oh God, Artie, please, Artie, for the love of God, please don't.
An earring? I never noticed before.
Fuck you, Artie. Artie, get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna miss you, Abe.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you too, Artie.
Oh, God.
Charmaine, the bus boys.
Charmaine and me, we're gonna try to part for a little while.
Oh my God, Artie, are you okay? The kids?
For the best. Did I tell you I'm gonna go into business with Tony?
What? Like a restaurant?
Satriali Foods. Probably gonna change the name to Vesuvio. Sauce, Taral.
Now she'll like you.
That's great. Congratulations.
Oh, you changed your mind about the marriage thing. There's always room on my staff for a bright, sexy vice president. It's a big step. Marriage. You sure you're ready?
Yeah, I'm sure.
No. Okay.
You in the ladies' room is?
Yeah, I think it's behind the bar.
He's gonna be sitting there by his damn self. And she about to bounce. And she's about to bounce. She gonna make a phone call. And hopefully you don't get your ass whooped.
So I got a call from Eddie Vole at the PBA. Your friend the cop? He's bitching about losing his overtime. He's got some black officer squad looking into his case. If you want, I can get it squashed. Get him reassigned.
Fuck him. Cocksucker got what he deserved.
The Tony Soprano wiretap has been neutralized.
What are you doing? You're not ready?
I'm not going.
They gave you permission. It's my father's funeral, Junior.
You hear me? I don't feel up to snuff.
You look okay to me. I gotta tell you, Junior. I take this as a personal
Yeah,
insult.
I was just
What
about
do you
to say
think?
that.
I don't give a shit?
What am I supposed to think?
You selfish fuck. I can't go because I'm sick. I have cancer.
Cancer? Oh, my God.
This might break him like fully.
Weisenheimer, now how do you feel?
Junior, I'm sorry. My father. Now you.
Yeah, see.
What the fuck is happening?
Including tax and delivery, it comes $897.23.
Just make sure it gets to my house in one piece. Come on.
Interesting. So, I don't know if we'll see any more Charles S. Dutton's character as the cop. I didn't know he was in this at all. But even for that episode, that's interesting, right? Because we see Tony, I say having a heart, like, it's not just having a heart, he's just being human. He holds this power and he wields it, but at the same time, he wants to exist as a human being that recognizes shit. And he has a respect for him. There's a respect there. Of course, he's getting pulled over. He's Tony. He's the skipper, right? But the thing is, there's a respect for a man who does his job and is honest. When a cop worked for him and he was a scumbag, it took a lot for him to respect him. That they literally had to sit down and talk in a whorehouse for them to realize and have an actual connection and bond. Otherwise, Tony was always shitting on him, right? Because this guy's a scumbag. Like, he's not. And normally, Tony would never. He's not going to see a cop out in town. So if he don't fuck with you, he don't fuck with you. But truthfully, there's a respect there for a guy that he can't take advantage of. There's a respect there for a person willing to do their job at the risk of being shit on. And then when they're on the phone and the assemblyman says, yeah, apparently he has some mental issues and shit. You see, Tony, this is ringing for him. This is a guy who's doing his job the best he can, and he got fucked over. So at first it seems like Tony wanted to help him out or some shit. And then the assemblyman later on in the episode, he says what he says. Hey, I could, he said, no, fuck him. And I'm like, okay. Maybe the thing, things happen in his life and he responds in a certain way based off, like, he's not in a good mood right now. He just found out his Uncle Junior got cancer. Last of that generation. We're going to get back into that. But then you see this part. And I wonder about that. Tony offer him the bribe again. I wonder, did he really think, hey, I'm going to just bribe him, I'm going to take care of him, have him under my wing. This is a guy who's needy. I can get him. Right? He's weak right now. The cop was like, fuck that. I don't need it. And at no point, right? Or was this just a straight up test by Tony to see if this guy was as honest as he thought he was? The weirdest thing about Tony that I find, though, is the space he exists in when it comes to black people, right? At once he can be racist, but he can also show some sort of compassion and treat them as humans. It's the weirdest shit. Remember the preacher? And when he goes and talks to his father and he sees him as a straight up man and talks about that other generation, and he's talking to the preacher about it, and they have that connection, then this thing with the cop, like, clearly that's a black cop, and he says all that affirmative action, and in the same episode, he's talking to his daughter, talking about, oh, you're more likely to get robbed by black people. Yeah, I really do wonder where they're going to take that. You feel me? Because they're making it a point to show like, it was one thing when they were just saying stuff, and I thought by now the thing with him and Meadow would be done. No. It's continuing, and it's going to continue. And they keep bringing it up, and they're making it a point to show it. So I want to know how they do this. Just don't do no silly shit. Don't make me go in on this motherfucker. All right? And so there's that. All right. The whole situation at the beginning of this, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this. Because we see a guy beat somebody with a club. At first, I'm thinking it's a hustle because the way she came over to the dude, I'm like, oh, they trying to get this dude. Nah, this is just a weirdo scumbag whose family is connected. His godfather. Right? Family by, not blood, but. And so he does what he does. And they like, hey, he got to get taken out. This ain't the first time he done some dumb shit and ruined business and dealings for us. He's acting like a dumbass. So they speak to his godfather. And his godfather happens to be Junior's body man, his father. All right. Now, this was interesting because you see him crying. You saw so much emotion from all of the gangsters this episode. Right? I won't say all of them, but a lot of them. And like even when old dude, the super big one, when his guy had got taken out with the club, he's like, oh, he's gonna be fucking retard. Right? Like, yeah, it said it how he said it, but he was showing that he really wanted him. Like, he was worried about him, right? So they got to get him taken out. Now, they had a funeral, and I'm like, whose funeral is this? And it's a flag over it. Okay, Carmela's side of the family, her uncle. Now, this is funny. Later on, when Corrado says, you know, this thing happens in threes. And so he says, your mother, Febby, and was it Bacala? And now me, I got this cancer. So I'm thinking that's 4. And then Tony asked the question. He goes, wait a minute. Is this why you didn't want me to have him do it? Which is hilarious. He didn't want him to die, get killed in action. Because then it'd be 3s died of cancer. And then he'll be next. So that's why when the dude's father, when he comes back and says, yo, I had to drive all the way to Staten Island to ID him. He goes, yo, how'd they say he died? And that's funny that he did that because he wants to make sure. On some old school shit, you'll see people be very logical. The older they get and the more they have to acknowledge their mortality, they start getting more into that superstitious or spiritual side, right? It's funny. It's old world, but it's so-called old world, but it's very much how we all get down in certain situations, right? Like, you know how they say there's no atheist in the foxhole. It's every once in a while, though, people will leave their lack of faith in God alone when faced with their mortality. And you see that with Corrado. And so to find out that he has the cancer, and Tony finds that out, and he says, don't tell anybody. Now, I'm thinking still in the terms of, the mob. He's not going to tell nobody. But I forgot there's this other side, and in the show and in Tony. So he tells his sister, and I'm like, oh, yeah, he would tell his sister. And it makes sense. And so while they're sitting there talking at her, she's just full of shit. I don't believe her one bit with that church thing. There's some sort of angle to that. Not church thing, but the Jesus thing. Okay. And once again, they're faced with the fact that whole generation is gone and it's all on them. And it affects Tony and them in a certain type of way because it's like, damn. Like, look at all of them going away. And it was affecting, to me at first, I'm thinking, yo, Junior, I thought that it was affecting him that everybody was dropping like flies just straight up. I'm like, because look at how much he seemed to understand about cancer and doctors and medicine and all that. No, he's sick himself. So in 2 weeks, he has to go in and do all that and find out and do the chemo. All right. And then Tony, you know, how does he deal with that going forward? All right. Next thing, Artie. So I see Artie with Adriana, right? And he's doing the thing with the wine and shit. And I'm like, whoa, no, wait. And then she says, I'm quitting and all that. So I'm thinking, I was reading that wrong. I thought they were holding the camera there to show him being inappropriate or something. I wasn't wrong. It wasn't an inappropriate thing. They were showing multiple things at once. They were showing her quitting, right? Because Chris doesn't want her to work. But also, they were showing that he, wants her, okay? So he's going through a midlife crisis. Man wants to divorce his wife. He's calling her a cunt. And she's not. She's just a realist, and she's the one being smart. The motherfucker Artie is. He wanted to do more business with a guy who he just got drunk and was talking all this resentment shit and was ready to spill his guts about. Now he wants to do more business with him, right? And a person might probably be like, oh, well, she shouldn't nag about it. It's like, why not? Because they're showing that on the camera, her nagging him. But understand, for all of us who are adults, when that motherfucker go home, he always complaining about Tony and always bringing shit up, or at the very least, let's put it like this: he may not be talking about it or anything like that, but you can see that it wears him down and all that. And she's witnessed it herself. And she don't like the family and all that on her own. You know, she spoke to Carmela how she spoke to him. And, you know, she had dealings with Tony in the past. But it's not as simple as we just see the nagging. And that's what it is. She gets the brunt of everything. So there's more of that there. And so she's like, she telling him shit like, dog, you trying to go in business with Kane? Okay. All right. She's like Clint. Now, we understand she don't want him to fuck with Tony because she don't fuck with Tony and she resents him and all this other shit. Like, it's deeper than that. Right? We remember with the Carmela with the nails and the... All right, but it's more of... She's being, like, wise here. It's not that she knows more than him. She being wise. She like, dog, they don't even want to have your name on it. Okay, now cut to him. Now remember, I'll be working stuff out in these reviews also, so I'm thinking about that as it's going on. I hope they cover that more. But Artie then has her out on a date, and Adriana is such a just, I don't know, but she came out there. She had to know what was up. And he kept touching her hands, and he said, "Yeah, I'm leaving my wife, and you know, and we coming up with this company, and it's gonna be Vesuvio. Is it Vesuvio's?" And it's like, dog, and she's like, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom." Hilarious. The guy is, yeah, he's assed out. It's crazy. The whole thing, they could make a ton of money. See, my thing with this whole thing is, there's certain scores. Like, I would assume, like, let's put it this way. I would assume that you would look for something like this. Like, I understand these guys don't want to leave this life alone. But if motherfuckers came and told you, yo, we got all this property that we about to build up on, and y'all will get these contracts, you'd understand how much money you can make from that and then just leave that life alone and go legit. But that's not what would happen. These motherfuckers, this would make them go even harder, right? So yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, this was another dope episode, right? Like back to back. I fuck with it. Hey, next episode.